Hello everybody, Russian Batman back with another video. And first of all, I just want to say, well, thank you guys so much for all the support of my last video. That was like kind of crazy. The Arkham Asylum one has become one of my most viewed videos on my channel. And it was like right after a big hiatus. So thank you so much for watching that one. That means a lot. And yeah, it was I even had like Moose Figs comment on that video, which was like crazy. So I appreciate all the support after my long hiatus. But yeah, then I do apologize. Also, I skipped last week uploading videos. So I think it's been like a week or two. But yeah, I'll try. Like I said, I'll try to release more regularly. But we'll see if I can. This is actually these figures I've actually recorded already, but I didn't like the video, so I'm re-recording it now. In fact, I think I recorded before the Arkham Asylum one, but yeah, I'm showing off some Fantastic Four first steps. I'm kind of late. I made these closer to the movie, but I just like never showed them off for whatever reason. So here you go. Here's the first one, Mr. Fantastic. Of course, you gotta start with Mr. Fantastic. Pretty simple. Like I said, these are all pretty kind of simple. Just like kind of like the original figures, just modified to be a little bit better. So the dual molded arms, or like the gloves on the arms, and then the legs. I didn't change the face up at all. I have my dog wandering around my room. If you hear little footsteps, that's him. But I did give him an alternate pair of legs, kind of very inspired by the ones in the actual Lego set, where I gave him these super long legs. So Mr. Fantastic can, so you see here, it kind of goes out a little bit, but I wanted to make it so it didn't look like they're just bricks on his legs. So you see his legs kind of continue down, and then his feet, I use a little bit of a different build than his than the actual Lego set does. I think these look like his feet a lot better than the ones they chose for the set. But these were pretty easy to just make with actual brick. The only thing that's actually modified is, like I said, the leg piece is like connected to the leg. And that is a new modification. But you could easily build these and just put it on the actual set, and I think it would look pretty good. But yeah, here he is with the you can see barely fits on the, where does he fit on? So if I put him way back here, look at that, Mr. Fantastic, ain't that something? But yeah, there is Mr. Fantastic. Sorry about shaking my camera. I need to figure out maybe a better camera solution, or I got a little thing holding up my camera, but it tends to shake whenever I hit it. Some other figures. This one's probably the one I did the least amount to. Invisible Woman. I just kind of gave her a new hairpiece. This was a hairpiece that was in. I got my hand like right where the camera is. I'm wondering if there's some other way I could do this without just my hand always being there. Can I put my hand underneath? But actually, wait a minute. Hold up. I'm gonna try something. Look, this side's way better. But there you see, I gave her a different hairpiece. That was just, I think it's the Galinda hairpiece, but I think it kind of works well. Nothing else really changed. I did give her the little indent here to make it kind of look more like a female body shape they have, because it was just the same torso before. And like I said, the same details on the arms and the legs. Nothing super crazy, but there is that. Here we have Johnny Storm. Again, another simple one, except it has those little arm detailings right there. However, I did give him an alternate form, which is basically like a whole nother figure, and I gave him a Flame On variant. So here's that one. And there is the Flame On. So this is basically exactly the same, but with monochromatic orange. I did give him the Ghost Rider kind of flame head accessory. However, I actually think this kind of looks a little bit better. Because then it's all just the monochromatic orange, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And you can see here, I basically just try to copy this design one-on-one, except for the face expression's a little bit different, but just all in orange there. So yeah, but I am super happy with it, and I try to use a combination of the newer orange and the older orange. So like the newer orange meaning the more reddish orange. You can see here, everything that is blue is the more reddish orange on this one, and everything that was white or flesh tone is the older shade of orange, or the more just brighter orange. But I think that makes it really well, look really cool, and it's still like distinct. And yeah, I'm really happy with this. So there is Mr. Human Torch. Why am I calling him Mr.? I'm like, he doesn't have a Mr. in his name. last but not least, and this is the one I probably did the most amount to, is The Thing. I'm super happy with this. In fact, I actually made this guy before. You might notice if you watch the Arkham Asylum video that I used the same technique that I used for the Arkham Asylum, where I made this modified torso and then just the Hagrid arms. It's actually made this before I made the figures from the Arkham, so this is kind of like the prototype for those. But I'm super happy with how this figure turned out. And these arms actually do already exist in this color. This is from, the arm is from a character from, what's the name of the movie? Sing, or Trolls, from Trolls. It's a character from Trolls that had those arms, and yeah, so those arms already existed, so I ordered them from Bricklink, and I didn't have to paint on any Hagrid arms. But yeah, and like I said, I just try to copy the design again and just put it directly on there. And then I also did paint in some of the crevices to make it more distinct. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I am actually working on another Thing figure that, you know, if you stay tuned, you might see, you know, an upcoming showcase. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And can I put the figures all in a row? I remember this little platform I have, this new recording setup. Is not super friendly for you know, placing figures down, but let me try here for the little end bit of the video. 1, 2, okay, so far so good. Okay, 3, wah. 3 and 4, Fantastic Four, and then, you know, the Human Torch. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I'll put it on the other side. It doesn't really make sense. But there you go. There are all the figures for this showcase. Hope you all liked it. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Go watch the 2011 film Rango. And, yeah. I can hear my dog, like, eating. All right. Have a nice one. Ciao.